All right, working on the output speed sensor. Let's see if I can show you where it's at. That's my control arm, lower control arm. This is your outer tie rod, sway bar, and link. I got to go behind all that. Right there. It's kind of hard to see, for me anyways, but you should be able to see it. Right there. Alright, I was able to get a wrench up in there. Not easy to do, pretty tight to be able to get up in there. And I got the retaining bolt out, which is where the little plastic piece comes kind of crossways back to the right on your screen. You can also see that I was able to reach up in there. I needed to use a little stubby screwdriver to kind of push the clip in to be able to get that harness unplugged from the sensor itself. So yeah, now I'm ready to actually reach up in there and see if I can pry this thing out of there. Alright, so I'm going to reach up in here and grab a hold of that thing, and as you can tell, the space is so tight, there is absolutely no way that you're going to be able to see me pluck this thing out of there. So you'll just have to trust me. I was able to get it. Alright, I got the old one out. It's right here on the right. New one on the left. It basically is exactly the same thing. Plug styles are the same. Let's see if I can hold this up here for you. Kind of hard to see. Plug styles are the same. Everything's the same. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a little ATF and just put around that little seal that's on here, that little rubber O-ring, to make sure that it seats in there properly and get that reinstalled. I got the new one seated in there. I just need to plug that in and put the retaining bolt back in, and good to go. Alright, it's in, it's tight, and the plug is plugged back in. The connector reconnected. It was pretty awkward to get to because it's up behind suspension parts and everything else. I'm actually looking at it upside down right now. You're looking at it upside down right now in the frame. But anyways, it is back in. The only way I could get to it was to get a socket through this little tiny hole where my hand is and put it on that nut. Let me show you what I had to put together to get there. So this is what I had to put together to get up in there. This is the socket, or the ratchet rather, that I have. Unfortunately, I don't have a long extension for my 3/8 or 1/4 inch drives. Actually, I have one for 1/4 inch drive, but what I didn't have for my 1/4 inch drive is a 1/4 inch wobbly, which I would then have to put into this little articulating joint here. So I had to use my 1/2 inch ratchet, one of the longest extensions that I have. I had to put that into a size converter so that it would go down to the 3/8, fit into my 3/8 wobbly, and then my 3/8 wobbly into this articulating joint for socket, and I was able to basically reach up in there and put this thing at a pretty tight angle, get on the head of the bolt, and then tighten it, and somehow was able to get my other hand sort of up in there to stabilize that to get it turned. So anyways, we got it going. It's in. I just have to put the wheel back on the front and I'm good to go. Well, another job done on the 2008 Saturn Astra. This time I did the output speed sensor. You may recall from a previous video that I'd already done the input speed sensor on the transmission. It was the easier one to get to, and on that particular day it was raining, and so I just did that one quickly and then waited till today when it wasn't raining to replace the output speed sensor. So now both of those sensors are new and in and working well. So should be good to go on the strange shifting. I think that took care of that problem. The car is actually, it's still a project car that I use as my daily driver, but it's actually running better. And I've done a lot of work on it in recent weeks and months.
But I'm pleased overall with the state of the car, and I just hope to keep it running much longer so that I don't have to buy a new one. It's cheaper to fix it than it is to buy a new one at this point in time. So there you have it. Hope that was helpful, and we'll see you on the next video.